voice behind that video, the man behind that product. He is one of the most important person, of course, in our company. The master himself. He is one of the chairman of the Water Quality Association, and of course have more than traveled for more than 100 countries, more than 30 years in the water industry, and of course the man behind this amazing product that we have been waiting here in the Philippines. I would like to introduce to you the Master Water Specialist, the Senior Vice President of FN Global, Mr. Mike Long.
Gigi had to remind you that I'm old. More than 30 years in the water industry means I'm very old. But in fact, good water and good health and Elkin's products helps to keep me young.
Yes.
So I welcome all of you here. I won't try to be too boring. The subject of water, my youngest son says, how can you talk about water for 35 years? Water is wet. That's all you need to know. And I tell him that water is much more complicated than this. So we're just going to go through a series of slides, but before, let me just introduce myself briefly a little bit more. I started working with Elkin almost when it was a brand new company. I was working in the US in the water industry, and we were supplying to Elkin. Long story made short, I was so impressed with Elkin, with our executive chairman, Mr. A.K. Tan, but mostly I was impressed with Elkin's dedication to quality. Elkin absolutely insists on the best quality, whatever product it is. And that was one of the main reasons that I actually joined Elkin. I came to Malaysia, we moved our whole family there, and we've been living in Malaysia now going on 15 years later this year. But the most important thing is that the quality aspect, whether it's our BioPure products or it's our spirulina, our health food products, our beauty products, you cannot compromise with quality. You must maintain the highest quality if you want to succeed as a company and as an individual. In addition to being a master water specialist, and there's about 300 master water specialists in the world, I also took a degree in nutrition because I realized that human nutrition and water are so intertwined. They connect in every part of our body, every aspect of our lives. So with a little bit of background, let me move into our slides. Water, a lot of people take for granted because when you look at the body, there are so many of our organs, and in fact our whole body, that are dependent on water. In fact, water is life. You can live for 30 days, 40 days without food, really. But if you don't have water for as little as 3 to 5 days, you will die. You must have water. The average human is about 2/3 water by weight. So water is so important to our body's health. Remember what water does. Water is like the engine in your car in a way. Water is how we get nutrition. It is carried through our cells. Water is how we regulate body temperature. Because if you're outside, I've walked back and forth to the hotel twice here today, and I start sweating, perspiring. That is my body's way of regulating the temperature. If you get too hot, Water will come out and it cools your body down. Water keeps your joints moving smoothly and freely. If you didn't have water, you couldn't move your elbow, your knee, your wrist. Digestion, how do we digest our food? It is with water. Elimination or detoxification. How do we get rid of the things that our body doesn't need and can't use? How do we get rid of poisons? Not nice to talk about, but how many of us have ever eaten some bad food or drank some bad water and you spent the night on the toilet? Because your body's trying to throw it out. Water is how that happens. Today, there are unbelievable number of ways that water gets contaminated. We'll just look briefly. Particulates. Little stuff. Sand, mud, rust, pieces of calcium that break off of the inside of the pipes. These are called particulates. Organic chemicals. Fertilizer. Pesticide. Herbicide. Used all over the world. All over the Philippines to make things grow faster, to kill the bugs. It gets into the water, for sure. Biological contaminants. Bacteria, cysts, microorganisms, microscopic worms, things that grow inside of our body. This is part of worldwide contamination. And then the last one we call DBP, or disinfection byproducts. Cities, countries all around the world put something called chlorine into the water. The chlorine kills bacteria, parasites, virus, but the chlorine creates a carcinogen or a disinfection byproduct. And the chlorine itself can actually harm you. In some countries, they limit the amount of chlorine so that it doesn't become dangerous. BioPure Ultra is able to handle all of the problems that we've just seen and more. BioPure Ultra is based around a process of 4 stages where you remove minute particles, you remove organic contaminants, you remove microscopic bacteria, parasites, worms, things like this, and then you go through one more carbon filter so that the water has a very, very nice, clean taste. And we developed this product because we realized that there are so many people in the world, not just Philippines. We first started selling this in India over 5 years ago. Then we also introduced it to Cambodia. Now we're introducing it to the Philippines. And the reason is we wanted people who don't have a high income, people who cannot afford a reverse osmosis system or a advanced UV system or some of the other products that are sold. We want ordinary, average people to have good, clean water. This is why we developed our Ultra system. And as I mentioned, I won't try and go into the science. I'm available all day today. For those of you who want to stay, you're welcome to stay. I will hand out my business cards to each and every one of you that want one. That way, if you have any questions, you have my email address, you've got my office number, you have even my cell number, so that I can answer questions that you might have. But one thing that I would like to point out is we have used this word micron. And a micron is it's 1 meter divided into 1 million little tiny slices. So a micron is 1/1,000,000th of a meter. You can't even see 1 micron. the smallest you can see, if you take a white piece of paper and put a little black spot, if that little black spot is less than 20 microns, you can't see it. It's too small to see. So 1 micron is unbelievably tiny. Most bacteria are 1 micron or bigger. You don't see bacteria when you hold up a glass of water, but it doesn't mean they're not there. So that first filter can take out particles or contaminants as small as 1 micron. And then our next filter is a carbon filter. I think that's, did we skip one? No, maybe not. The second filter is carbon, granular activated carbon. There it is. Okay, sorry. The GAC, the granular activated carbon, is a very important compound that removes or reduces organic contaminants. And we use pure coconut carbon. And the reason we use coconut carbon is very, very simple. One, coconut is a renewable resource. You don't chop down the tree. The coconuts keep growing. So you harvest the coconuts, you take the husk, you properly prepare the husk, you activate the carbon, and it's purely organic. Other companies, many, use coal that you dig out of the ground. Coal is a form of carbon. So they take the coal, they grind it up, and they put it in the filters. But coal can be contaminated with other things. They dig it out of the ground, but there may be traces of arsenic, there may be traces of other contaminants in there, but it doesn't matter. I've actually tested, and this is truth, I've bought water filter systems, brand new. We take them into the lab. We take the city pipe water, we analyze. We then put that pipe water through the water system and we analyze. The water is worse coming out than going in. They're sold as water treatment systems, but they're actually water contamination systems. They make the water worse. And this is why certification is so critical. But before we go there, let's talk about the ultrafilter, the UF. Ultrafiltration is a technique, and we'll show you what it looks like. All these little white dots are essentially straws. They look like straws. And there's thousands of them. Little tiny straws. And if you look at one straw, this is the outside of the straw, and this is the center of the straw. And the water passes through to the center. This is a 400 times magnification of an ultra-filter hollow fiber. The technical name is hollow fiber membrane. So again, the water passes from here, 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 here. The water is all around and it moves to the middle. And it gets into the middle after it's been properly cleaned, and that's where the good clean water comes from. This is actually an electron microscope photograph. These are the little tiny submicron. We call submicron because they're way smaller than 1 micron. These are the holes on the outside of the straw. These are bacteria. These are cysts. These are things. And as you can see, there's no way that's going to fit through there. It can't. It's too big. So those can't go into the clean water. And that's why we say BioPure Ultra gives you clean and safe water. We like how it looks. I like how it looks. of course, I helped to design it, so I better like how it looks. Most people like how it looks because it's so small, it can fit in just about anyone's kitchen. We've got them in Japan, we've got them in Hong Kong, we've got them in countries where space is so precious. You don't need a plumber or a handyman to install. On that video that you just saw, I have a confession to make. That video, the lady who was using there, that's my wife. If my wife can install, anybody can install. Because, don't tell her, my wife has trouble changing light bulb. But this, okay, no problem. You don't need electricity. Almost all other forms of water treatment, whether it's UV, RO, distillation, all of those need electricity. If there's no electricity, if you have a power cut, no water. That's not true with BioPure Ultra. You don't need electricity. And, again, very easy to maintain. When my wife, when we asked her to do the video, she said, I don't know, I don't think so, I don't want to. I said, you can do this. Slide, turn, lift, change the filter. So simple and easy. Here's a little bit of the product specifications. I won't bore you with that. But believe me, this is a product that we're proud of. We've sold thousands and thousands and thousands, and we expect this to be a very, very great product for the Philippines. And I wouldn't put my name on any product if I wasn't 100% confident in what that product can do. And as a member of the WQA Board of Directors, I have to really take care of what we do and what we say. And as was already mentioned, we are not just WQA members, we're also part of something called the WQA Excellent Companies. We have a lot of pride in the quality of our system. Frost & Sullivan, we actually won 3 years in a row. Reader's Digest gold medal, 3 years in a row. We are very proud of not just Ultra, we're very proud of all Elkin products. And we hope that the fact that we have our own manufacturing, you saw in KJ's slides, we're not just a trading company. We don't buy from this cheap guy, dress it up nicely, and resell. We manufacture these ourselves. I've been to the factory many, many, many times where we make our water purification systems. So we actually have 2 main factories. One where we make all of the water purification, and one where we manufacture our health food and many of our other products. So Elkin is not a trading company. Elkin is a world-class supplier and manufacturer of world-class products. Most other direct selling companies cannot say that. And again, that is one of the things that sets us apart from so many others. You know, KJ mentioned we were number 50 in the world on the direct selling companies in the world. Now imagine how many direct selling companies there are. There are thousands worldwide, thousands. And Elkin, we've reached number 50. So that is also a testament to quality and to focus and to heart. We really do care about the products we sell and the people that we are working with. We really care. So again, these are a couple of things I mentioned: certified coconut, FDA food grade materials, Frost and Sullivan. There's a few questions here. Do I need to boil my water after I've run it through the Ultra? I'll give you a simple answer. When I checked in at the hotel yesterday, I asked the gentleman, I said, and I knew already the answer, but I said, is it okay to drink the water from the tap? Well, sir, we provide you bottled water. I said, so I shouldn't be drinking the water from the tap. Well, officially it's okay, but nobody does. I said, okay, I won't drink from the tap. I guarantee you that if you put a BioPure Ultra on that water, 100% sure you can drink. Don't need to boil, because the contaminants that can create the issues for your gastrointestinal system, they're gone. Why do I need to run the unit? Do we want to go through these, KJ? Or is this interesting to you as bloggers? I think not. These are a little bit technical, a little bit specific to users. Do you want me to go through these real quick? No. Okay, everybody's shaking their head no. Okay, so the answer is no. I hope that we've been able to plant a little seed with you. Social media is so unbelievably important today. And I admit, like Gigi said, I'm old. I grew up in a day and an age there was no internet, there was no smartphone, there was no cell phone. And I know that the world is changing, and blogging and social media and Facebook and all the other things have so much importance in today's world. And I think what is so special about it is the reach. You can reach people everywhere that otherwise none of us would ever get to talk to. But you have an important voice, and I hope that we've been able to plant that little seed so that people everywhere can start drinking clean and safe water. Because let me tell you for sure, nothing is more important to your health than the water that you drink. Everybody wants to go to the good restaurant, they want to have really good food, nice food. A lot of people don't think so much about the water they're drinking. Some of the refill stations, you won't believe it, it's true, the big machine there, it actually is hooked up to the tap, and the water goes straight from the tap to the refill machine. And there's no treatment at all. People are just paying for tap water. Not, of course, not all, but some. Some of the refill stations aren't maintained. Some of them are fine. But how do you know which ones? With a BioPure Ultra, you know what you're going to get when you install it in your house. So, do we have time for questions real quick, or are all of you ready to run away?